Hi there, it's Bernie Miller here with you today with another scrapbooking layout. Today I am starting a new series on my YouTube channel called Scrap Your Stash, and this is the very first layout and video process video that I have for this series. I'm hoping to add to this series over the coming year for 2017. That is one of my goals. And one of my scrappy goals is to use up the stash that I already have. So I am starting with this older collection that I've had sitting in my stash for about a year now, called Atlas Collection by Paislee. I was a guest designer for their blog, I think it was about a year and a half ago, and I was very lovingly sent the whole collection from the Atlas Collection. But it's been sitting there in a pretty box, just staring at me, mocking me to use it. And I thought I'd finally grab it out while I'm on holidays and I don't have any kitties around and get into it and see what I can create from what I have left over. So I showed you there before all the bits and pieces and the bits and bobs that I've got left over. I've got lots of 6x6 pieces of paper. I have some 12x12 papers that have been cut into, embellishments, puffy stickers, brads. What else is there? Tags, alphas, a whole heap of stuff there, and you can see it all sitting there on the right hand side. So I had this idea of trying to create a layout of 4 little photos that I had of my children, of a little vacation that we went to in winter, not this year gone, but the year before. The kids and I decided to go on a little winter vacation down to the Gold Coast. The weather was beautiful, and we went to a little holiday village down there just to get away for a bit and to spend some time together, just the 3 of us. So I'm using the beautiful background piece of paper. It's just a grey piece of paper. I often struggle using just pattern paper for my background, but that's also another scrappy goal for this year, is to try and use up more pattern papers for my background instead of just the old white that I tend to go back to every single time. So in order to help me scrapbook on a pattern paper, I decided to add some white gesso there. You saw me doing that before. And all I did was, instead of adding the gesso straight on, because I didn't want it to be thick and to cover up the pattern paper, the nice little words in the background there, I just got a little bit of gesso and smudged it on with my finger and just added little bits at a time until I had the area that I wanted to be covered up. So I went and gessoed that with some white gesso, and then I grabbed out some watercolors, and I wanted to pull out 3 of the main collection, 3 of the main colors that you see in the Atlas Collection, which was the blue, that beautiful green color. It's like it's not a sage, and it's not an aqua, but it's this beautiful deep green color, and some red as well to help pull in some of those embellishments when I come and do them later. But then in the corner of my eye, I spotted this pretty yellow picture frame. You can see it on the right hand side there, sitting on the mountain of Atlas Collection there. So I thought I'd create a bit of a background there with some modeling paste, and just to add in one of those stencils that I actually got out of my Click Kits, Click into Color kit. I'm just trying to think when that was last year as well. So that was a stencil. It was a Hero Arts arrow stencil, and I've added into the background there, and I'm just taking away some of the messiness and some of the arrows because I just thought it was a little bit too much. So I've trimmed it down, I've trimmed down the pieces that I don't want, and I've left it there, or I scraped it off, sorry. And now I'm just creating my title. The kids called this place that we go to the Birdie Place, because down on the Gold Coast where we went, it has the largest collection of birds, but more specifically macaw birds, in a private collection in Australia, and the kids just loved it, and they asked me continually, almost weekly, when are we going back to the Birdie Place? So I thought I'd create the title by saying Birdie Place. So I've adhered it to some baking, it's not baking paper, but it's plastic. You know when you freeze and you put freezer paper in between your meat or anything like that. So that's what I'm using for titles. It's great. I learned that. I can't remember another YouTube scrapbooking video, and placing it on the freezer paper lets me put the title. I can move it around and the adhesive on the back doesn't stick, so it's easy to peel off later and place it exactly where I want. So I'm just going through, or I went there through before, sorry, my 6x6 paper pads or the scraps that I had left, and I'm creating some little tabs underneath the photos there to pull in all the different colors, and I'm just creating another one there just to bring in all the different colors and to finally use up some of those scrappy pieces of paper. And I like doing that too because it allows me to use all the different colors and the embellishments as well and not stick to a particular color theme. So I'm just adding those in now and then thinking that I'm going to keep the title down below, but I will move it up to the top later because then if you know my scrapbooking, I like to scrapbook or journal, sorry. Oh, I'm a bit tongue-tied. It's only 6 o'clock in the morning here and I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so I do apologize. I've got my words mixed up a little bit this morning. So I'm just taking a photo of that so I remember exactly where I've put it. And actually, as I'm doing this video, I'm watching the Adele Inky Quill scrap stream while I'm creating my layout. I do tend to like other scrapbookers while I'm scrapbooking, so I don't feel so alone. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm adhering everything down now. Yeah, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? So I'm just adhering everything down. I'm surprised I didn't go and sew through those. I do tend to use my sewing machine on almost all of my projects, but I didn't on this one. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I could go back. But I did go around and sew around the outside of the layout because I do in the end up matting the whole layout. So actually those stamps, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. The stamps that I used in the background there before as well is an older Studio Calico stamp set. But God knows how long I've had it and hardly even used it before. And it had the little world stamps on there. I'm just trying to go through my little album here at the moment. Yeah, it was a Studio Calico and it was designed by Hello Forever, and it had those cute little world maps and a couple little hearts. So I just wanted to stamp those underneath before I added that modeling paste with the yellow in there. And to add the yellow to my modeling paste, I used a bit of the Mr. Huey's Taxi color mist to it. The color Taxi was one of my favorites. I do like to add a bit of yellow. So that's how I added that modeling paste there before. And I'm just going through and trying to use as many of the embellishments from that Atlas collection as I possibly can. And I'm almost ready to start adhering down, and journaling, adhering down that title. And photo corners, of course. I do like to add some photo corners. I finally found a place in town here that sells just the packets of white photo corners, so I grabbed a heap of them. I don't know, I just like how they finish off a photo for me. It makes it just look a little bit more presentable. So digging through more of this collection, and then I think, nope, I'm going to just start adhering my title. That's where I want it, but I'm going to save you the boredom, and I've adhered it all down. I just cut that out because you don't want to see me gluing. I'm sure you all know how to glue. Going through now with some Bow Bunny gold because I figured my title was gold. I needed to bring in a little bit of gold in the background. So this is the gold glimmer spray, which is very similar to the Heidi Swap gold Heidi Swap, what is it called, glimmer spray or something like that. No, not glimmer spray. All I can think of is Heidi Shine because that's what I hear from Adele. But anyways, I like the Bow Bunny one. It dries super fast. You can ride over it, and it leaves a beautiful, beautiful gold shimmer. So I have a stack of those in my stash. So I'm not afraid to use it on lots and lots of layouts because I know it's a brilliant product and I'm not going to run out. So I'm adhering, I'm writing down my journaling and then working around that. Now, I added a couple of star little stamps there, and I hated the way it turned out. It just didn't stamp properly, so I'm on a mission now to cover it up. So I've added a little embellishment there, a little tab, and then going to add in one of those little geo tags. I was going to go the red, but it just looked so out of place, so I went and grabbed one of the cork pieces from the same collection, and that suited much, much better. And bringing in, yep, some of the green down the bottom there as well. And I'll use that top piece somewhere else. And here I go, thinking, yep, I need to now add in some more of that green. I need to ground my layout. So chopping off some of those pieces, and voila, perfect. That is the piece, and that means that one more piece of paper down in that stash, which makes me super duper happy. So I've gone and I've sewed around the edges, and I'm adhering it now. And same again, I've cut that out because I don't want to bore you with seeing how I've adhered that. And I'm just going to go around and tear up some of the corners. Yep. And staple that down with my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, which I tend to like to do lately. And that's about it. I've managed to dig into some of my Atlas collection. I've also created a mini album from scratch using this collection, which I will post on my blog soon. Oh, there was a little hand pinching some candy canes. And just writing on the back who made the layout, when it was created, and where. And here is the finished layout. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to keep creating in this new series called Scrap Your Stash. Thanks so much and have a great day. See you later.